Welcome back to From the Shed End. I hope you're all doing really well on this Friday afternoon, a wet Friday afternoon with the weather looking like it's going to continue to rain for the next couple of days. But we have football back in our lives, proper football, none of that international rubbish. Before we get into today's video, as always, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you go to the Linktree link in the description and you hit the Linktree link and you go to the social accounts and make sure you follow all of those, and also go to our podcast episodes and go back and re-listen to some of the episodes me and Theo have recorded over the last couple of months. But don't also forget, if you go to our Instagram account as well, we do have the competition still running. As a way of saying thank you for reaching 100 episodes a few weeks ago with the podcast. So the next competition is available up until Monday, 12 p.m. You can enter the draw. All you need to do is go onto our Instagram account, tag 2 people, and you do get an extra entry if you share the post as well on Instagram. So make sure you do that before Monday. The draw will be also done Monday around 1 o'clock. So we've already had 2 winners already. This week's competition is to win a signed photo of the 2021 Champions League signed photo of some of the players. So it's a really good prize. Obviously, if you want that, you can frame it. You can do what you want with it if you win it, but the draw does end Monday, so make sure you're in it to win it now. Welcome back to the Premier League football, ladies and gentlemen. Arsenal, evening kickoff, 5:30. It's a game that we should be winning. We must win. We can't afford to not win. Let's be honest. Mauricio Pochettino, let's get the injury news out of the way first. Obviously, we're at Stamford Bridge tomorrow, if you didn't know already. But injury news, first of all. Let's talk about injury news. We know that obviously Armando Broja was one that we kind of thought might not be in contention to start tomorrow's game, but it has been ruled out that he won't be fit enough to start. We obviously know about Trevor Chalobah, Carney Chukwuemeka, Ben Chilwell, Wesley Fofana, Romeo Lavia and Christopher Nkunku are all out. Now, Reece James has been training very lightly at some point during the international break. He returned to full team training, but is this a game too early to throw Reece James back into the mix so early into his rehabilitation period, finishing back into full team training? Is it a game that we probably need to go with Malo Gusto in the team? I would probably say yes, we do. I think if we go with Reece James, I mean, I read a horrible stat the other day that Reece James has missed way too much football. I think it's over 90 games since he's made his debut for Chelsea, and it's just a lot of game time to be missing. So question mark about him. Obviously, it's good to see him back in training, but I think this might be a game too early for him to come into. Obviously, Mauricio Pochettino will make that decision, I'd assume, in the next couple of hours or so in preparation for tomorrow's game. But we do have a relatively decent record. I think apart from the last 3 games that we've played against Arsenal, going back to 2013-14 season, we've actually done okay against Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. So, there's going to be a lot of talk about Arsenal. Obviously, Arteta's got them playing really good football. But before the international break, and yes, it was only against the teams that we should have been beaten, but we played some really good football and we got to see some really good performances by the squad. And I'm hoping we can carry that on after the international break. Pochettino's confirmed today that Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo have both returned back to their club today. After their international breaks further afield in South America, and both have looked really good in training. So, for me personally, I would stick with those 2 midfield. Defensively, we have to be, as I said, question marks will have to be whether we start with Reece James. Me personally, I'd start with Malo Gusto, who obviously has come back from that suspension, and Pochettino rightfully saying today that it shouldn't have been a red card against Aston Villa, but he'll be back in contention. And to be honest, I prefer what I've seen of Malo Gusto. I think we gave Marc Cucurella the praise a couple of weeks ago in terms of him playing right back, but then we did see flaws in that when in the last game that we played. So I think I would shift Marc Cucurella possibly to left back. There's obviously a lot of conversation as well about the Zerzi. Is he going to be, is Zerzi ready to play? Personally, I wouldn't play him. I would start with Thiago Silva and Levi Colwill. Again, I know that Thiago Silva has he needs to be phased out of the team. That's something that, as a fan, you can clearly see that. But I still think we need to have a bit of experience in that defensive line. And Thiago Silva does bring that. Yes, he's old. Yes, he's 39. Yes, he shouldn't be in the team. But until we have Badia Shield, who I think Pochettino's kind of mentioned in his press conference earlier today that he will be on the bench. So you can't really start with Badia Shield. But ideally, Disasi and Colwell potentially would be the lineup. But I think we have to throw Silva in there, especially for a game against Arsenal. As I said, the experience that we're gonna be coming up against with Saka, whoever they play, I don't know if Martinelli's fit, but whoever they've got coming up in their team, and Nketiah might play Jesus. We know what they're about, Arsenal. So I think we have to have an element of experience in that back line for me. And if it isn't working, then look, he's got 5 substitutions that he can use. One of them could be to bring off Thiago Silva and bring on, Badia Shield for the second half if we need him. So I think we have to go with for me, a little bit of experience, but also understand that we can't have, players just playing in the team for the sake of it. I think, if they're not good enough, they shouldn't be in the team. In terms of goalkeepers, obviously, I think it goes without saying, we would have to go with Sanchez. I think he's the only sensible option to go with him to keep him in goal. My midfield too, obviously, as I said, Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez have been playing very well up until the international break. I would continue with that. I wouldn't change it. I would have them playing as a double pivot together. Very interested, hopefully, when Lavia is fit enough to even make the bench or to play a role in the team. I'm interested to see what he can offer in that midfield as well. Does that shift maybe Enzo's position? Does he get to play higher up the field? So I'm interested to see how that works out as well. Now, the 3 that I've gone for behind the striker is going to be Cole Palmer, who for me is arguably one of our best players, alongside Raheem Sterling at times as well. But Cole Palmer has to play on the right. I know Nadi Madueke has been playing in the qualifiers for the under-21s for England, and he's played really well. I think he scored a really good goal as well during the international break. But I just feel that, don't disrupt club football. Cole Palmer's been doing really well there. And I think as well, we have to credit Conor Gallagher, who another player that has come under a lot of criticism and scrutiny over the last couple of months, but he's been proving himself, even taking a captain's armband as well. And he's been proving himself that he does deserve to be in the team. So, we're playing players based on form, not because of likability. We have to put Conor Gallagher in there. So I think I would have Cole Palmer, Conor Gallagher, and we do have to stick Raheem Sterling because I think he played a blinder of a game in the last game for us. And I think, why not? Why not? Fulham was a game that we should have won. Burnley was a game that we should have won. But when we flicked that switch on for the second half of that game, in the second half, Sterling was one of the ones for me personally that was making the game change at Turf Moor. Brilliant goal as well for him to take. I think he set one up as well, and obviously the own goal as well. But Sterling for me is one of those more experienced players. Like I said, Arsenal, they're a team that will come out, a counter-attack, will hit us, high line pressure. So we need someone in that team that's got a bit of experience. And for me, Raheem Sterling is that man, the guy that can do that. Now, unfortunately, I know this is what is going to annoy a lot of Chelsea fans, but we have to obviously, Nicholas Jackson, who picked up 5 yellow cards, all for dissent, I think, has served his ban. He's back in the team. He missed obviously the Burnley game. But also with Armando Broja being out and Kunku's out, it doesn't really leave us any other option but to play Nicholas Jackson up front. So I think we'd have to reintroduce him back into the squad. Hopefully the timeout might have done him some good as well. Obviously he got that goal. But I do feel that we need, we need Jackson to be on form. We need him to be playing well. We need him to be doing what a striker needs to do. Be in the box. When that ball's being fizzed in by Sterling or Palmer or Gallagher, be in the box. Wait for the ball. Make sure you're there. He done really well to get his goal against Burnley. Very quick, trickery with the feet, and he was able to sort his feet out very quickly and then put it in the bottom corner of the goal. But he has to do more of that. We can't see it in little dribs and drabs. We need to see someone who's going to be prolific for us. And, look, Pochettino has already cried out from the summer that he wants a striker, whether that's Osherman, whether it's Ivan Toney. So this is a time for me, for Jackson, to prove that you are the number 9. You are the guy to lead the line, to be the one that Pochettino puts his trust in. These are critical games for Nicholas Jackson. He has to get them right. So I think if we can get the team playing how we got them playing against Burnley, continue that vein of form, we should be okay against Arsenal. We're at home. Like I said, the last 3 games have been a bit crazy for us in terms of the defeats. But I do think we have enough in this team to go forward and to win the game. And hopefully Pochettino doesn't do anything crazy in terms of, I don't know, playing Colwell at left back. I mean, I don't really want to see that. I don't want to see Cucurella at right back. I don't want to see Conor Gallagher next to Caicedo. Just get it right tactically, and the formation, the lineup right, and we should be okay against Arsenal. It's a massive game, obviously. We win this game, we could be talking about, climbing up the table even more. We are further down the table than we should be, but we need to climb up the table. We need to be to be starting to pick up some wins. As I said before, this is the game where our season really effectively starts, and this is it now. So we have to make sure that when we go out there tomorrow, we perform well. We've got some big fixtures coming up, City, I think Brighton as well. I think maybe there might be a United game or a Liverpool game in there as well. But there's some big key games. I think Newcastle might be in there as well. Some massive games coming up. So this is the start of our busy period from now until Christmas. We don't have any excuses. We've literally got 1 game a week. We should be winning these sort of games. We have to do this. This is a massive game. London rivalry, red or blue. Of course, we will come out on top victory. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 win against Arsenal. I think we'll be able to shut them up. I think we'll be able to deliver. Nicholas Jackson, you have to be on job. You can't shy away from these games. Enzo Fernandez, pick out those passes. Raheem Sterling, be on job. Cole Palmer, do what you've been doing. We need everyone to be switched on for this game for full 90 minutes. Don't switch off. And another key thing from Pochettino, please get the substitutions right. Please make sure the substitutions are done at the right time. The right substitution, make sure it's the right player coming on, the right player going off. Do not kill the game. If we go 1-0 up, we need another 2 goals. We can't rest on our laurels. We have to make sure we get at least 3 goals in this game. Comfortably, I'll take 2-0, but if we can get a 3rd goal just to ease some of those nerves during the game, I'll take that as well. But I think defensively, we've got to be strong to keep out Arsenal. But they're not, they're not Man City. They're a team that can be got to. Me personally, the players that we need to keep quiet is Saka, Odegaard, Declan Rice as well. We need to keep him quiet. But their defence is a bit shaky. Obviously, everyone talks about Saliba, but we can get to Arsenal. So as long as we play the game that we know we can play, we'll be fine on the day. 5:30 kickoff tomorrow, Stamford Bridge. Make sure you tune in for the review of the game afterwards. This has been Theo. Thank you very much for listening, watching this video. Make sure you subscribe, and also don't forget about the Instagram competition as well. So make sure you head over there, enter the competition, and make sure you're in it to win it on Monday as well. Thank you very much for watching. Until then, stay safe, and we'll be back soon.